All right, some breaking news on this Friday afternoon. Golfer Tiger Woods involved in a car crash today. He has been arrested on suspicion of DUI in Florida. This coming while Tiger was trying to make another comeback to get back onto the golf course after an Achilles rupture and another back surgery. Welcome into the Chase Down, everybody. My name is Chase Sr., and this is going to be primarily a football show, but one of the reasons why I launched this channel to give me a platform to talk about anything I want whenever I want, because I love sports and I love sports talk. So I appreciate all of you for hanging out here with me. And if you like the content, I do encourage you to hit that subscribe button here on the channel. We're already over 3,000 subscribers after launching the program a couple of weeks ago. So let's start off with what we know. Then I just have a lot of thoughts on Tiger as a person, as a golfer. Tiger Woods today involved in a rollover crash in Jupiter Island, Florida, according to the Martin County Sheriff's Office. Luckily, no injuries to Tiger or the one other car involved. Looked like the accident took place in a residential neighborhood. Woods did take a breathalyzer test, important to note, and he passed that, but he did not take a blood test. Wasn't to a point where legally he was forced to do that. And you can make your own conclusions there. In the state of Florida, though, when somebody is arrested on the suspicion of DUI, they do have to be in police custody for 8 hours. And so Tiger right now, as of this recording, is currently in a jail cell, and he'll be in police custody in jail for a few more hours into tonight. Tiger's Range Rover, that's the car that he was driving, according to the images that we saw, was on the driver's side. So this was deemed a rollover crash, but really the car just went on its side. And it does seem like speed played a role here, according to police, because Tiger's car did slide a good distance, according to the police press conference that we heard just moments ago. Tiger right now, he's not looking all that good physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. He's 50 years old. I think he's aged pretty poorly, which is obviously sad and unfortunate. He has spent the past several months recovering from a ruptured Achilles tendon and another back surgery that he had in October. And the 15-time major champion competed for the first time in more than a year this past Tuesday in the TGL finals, that indoor golf league. And what's kind of unfortunate about this is everybody was awaiting the return of Tiger, right? He's been weighing whether or not to play in the Masters, which is coming up soon after the NCAA tournament. There's some chatter that he's going to give it a go in Augusta. I'm not sure if he's physically ready. President Donald Trump, who's close with Tiger, did say on Fox News last night that Tiger's going to be there, but he's not going to play. So he may have spilled the beans right there. And obviously this car crash could impact if Tiger is able to compete or not. And in talking about this situation, it's just unfortunate for so many reasons. You know, growing up, Tiger was must-watch television. And if you weren't a golf fan, you became one because of Tiger. Clutch gene, assassin-like competitor. He made it cool for golfers to be fit and in shape. He was doing these military-style workouts where he was lifting and running multiple times a day, and then he'd be at the range for hours on the course, booming drives off the tee, clutch putts, insane, impossible bunker shots. He'd bend chip shots around trees, and he was throwing darts on the green with some of these approach shots. And at his peak, very few athletes ever have been able to reach that type of level individually. Michael Jordan and Michael Phelps are the other ones that I can think of, where they were mere mortals, right? One of one, generational players and athletes. And Tiger, undoubtedly one of the greatest athletes of all time. And I'm not sure that we're ever going to see a run of dominance like that, where he was so good for so long, won so many majors, won so many incredible tournaments. And from a competitive sense, the dude was a shark. You know, he put fear into other golfers. But unfortunately, since that whole domestic dispute, and he's obviously to blame for that, things have unraveled for Tiger both personally and professionally, off the golf course and on the golf course. As a golfer, since everything that went down with his ex-wife, he's really struggled and was bad, looked lost before he won the Masters in 2019, which goes down as an unforgettable moment. I'll never forget where I was. I was working for WNEP up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, covering news and sports as a television reporter, and I was in a news van watching the final few holes. I'll never forget where I was when Tiger improbably won that Masters tournament. And I think it's going to go down as one of the best sports moments in a lot of people's lives that they are able to witness that, the comeback of Tiger. Everybody was so desperate and craving one more big moment from him, and he delivered in that spot. But he struggled going into that Masters, won that Masters, and then since then, he's done really nothing of note on a golf course. He's been derailed by a bunch of injuries, and he struggled at times with addiction to pills. And this decline has been very fast and sudden for Tiger. In February 2021, this isn't the first time that he's been involved in a vehicle mishap. He suffered significant leg injuries in that one car crash outside of LA. His SUV then rolled over several times off the road and left him trapped in the car. Later had to get surgery to deal with open fractures to his lower right leg that led to a very lengthy recovery. He had a rod placed in his tibia, and he had screws and pins inserted in his foot and ankle during an emergency surgery. He was hospitalized for 3 weeks after that accident. And later at the Hero World Challenge in the Bahamas, he even said it himself. I'm lucky to be alive and also have a limb. So for Tiger, this is another driving-related mishap, and his struggles with pills, opiates, what have you, have been sad to see for a man, an athlete who was immortal, unstoppable, and so elite it was almost make-believe for so long. What does this mean for Tiger's future? Nobody really knows. I hope he gets right. But getting back on the golf course is like the last thing on the priority list. And it once seemed inevitable that Tiger was going to be able to catch Jack Nicklaus for that major record. Tiger has 15 major championships throughout his career. Jack Nicklaus has 18. And I don't think there's any way that Tiger's going to be able to catch him. And again, at one point, it seemed like it was definitely happening. But the domestic dispute, the fall off in play, lost his edge, lost his confidence, then dealt with a lot of injuries. And then the two accidents that he's now had, one led to nearly career-ending injuries. And really since that car crash in 2021, he hasn't been able to really play golf at a high level, hasn't been able to make it through tournaments. So you can make the argument in the grand scheme of things, that was a career ender. And now Tiger in the news once again and locked up in a jail cell. It sucks on so many levels. You want to see him right. You want to see him back on the course. You want to see him prosper and be healthy mentally, physically, spiritually. But he's been dealing with some demons. And my thoughts, prayers, strength, positive, good vibes are being sent to Tiger and his family. His son is an incredible young golfer. And going back to that major record for Nicklaus, 18 majors won. Scottie Scheffler is maybe the one person with a chance to top it, but Scottie Scheffler is 29 years old. He has 4 major championships right now. Jack Nicklaus, 18 major championships. That is one of those records that might stay unbroken. So that is the breaking news on this Friday. Just wanted to hop on the microphone, get in front of the camera, and talk about this situation because Tiger's one of my favorite athletes of all time. if he were to play in the Masters in a couple of weeks, I don't think it happens definitely now. But if he was back on the course, television ratings would have gone crazy. I would have been fully locked in because that's the type of allure and the pull that Tiger has, a true gravitational pull as an individual athlete. And I don't think we're ever going to see another golfer like him ever, ever again. Thanks for watching the Chase Down. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate all of your support, and I will catch you all soon. We'll probably get back to talking football here in our next episode.